Hey everyone! Today I'm going to give you an eyeshadow 101 lesson. I've had this requested as a lot of girls have or got makeup palettes for Christmas and they have 12 eyeshadows in them but they think they can only wear 3 of them. Or they got an eyeshadow palette with 30 eyeshadows and they think they can only wear 5. So today I'm going to show you how to match colors in eyeshadow palettes and where to apply them on your eyes so that you have a complete eyeshadow look. I'm going to be using the Naked 2 palette. This is just a pretty basic 12 eyeshadow palette with neutral colors. And then I'm also going to be using the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. This is a mega eyeshadow palette because it has like 30 something colors in here and a wide range of colors. So you may look at this and think, I would never wear that. But today I'm going to show you how you can. In this video, I'm going to be using 4 terms that you may not necessarily consider part of eyeshadow anatomy, and they are crease, lid, outer V, and transition. So I'm going to map out my eye and show you where I consider these parts. So right here is where I would consider my crease, because when I look up, it's where my lid meets my brow bone, and there's a crease. This is my eyelid, and then this right here is the outer V. It's the area where my lash line meets the crease. Kind of makes a little V. Then the transition is where I go from eyeshadow to skin. So transition usually happens right around in here. Obviously, you don't want your transition to be a harsh line. So when I refer to transition, these are the things that I'm doing to make my eyeshadow kind of like a gradient effect, to where it doesn't look like a harsh line of skin to all of a sudden dark color. So my game plan with this eyeshadow palette and pretty much all eyeshadow palettes is to first pick my transition color. I like my transition color to be matte, but if you like sparkly eyeshadows, then it can be sparkly too. So the only eyeshadow in here that I would pick as a transition color is Tease. It's a neutral shade that's not too dark and it's not too light, so it will blend from the eyeshadow area to the no eyeshadow area. If you like sparkly eyeshadows, I think Suspect could be a really great eyeshadow too. My next step is to pick my lid color. I like mine to be glittery, so I would pick really any of the glittery colors in this palette. Half Baked, Chopper, Suspect, Verve, YDK. Then I'll pick my outer V color. This color is going to be darker than our transition color, and it's just going to add a dramatic smokiness to our eyeshadow look, but it's not too dramatic to where you can't wear it to work or school. So in this palette, I would pick Snakebite, Pistol, Busted, or even Blackout as an outer V color, but if you use Blackout, make sure you go in with a tiny amount. Lastly, I'll pick out my highlight color. This is obviously just supposed to brighten up your look. In this palette, I would pick Foxy or Booty Call as a highlight color. I'm going to start by going in with this Milani eyeshadow primer, and I'm just applying it all over my lids. I really feel like eyeshadow primer helps to neutralize the color of my lids. It helps my eyeshadow show up more pigmented, and it helps it stay longer. Now I'm taking the color Foxy and putting it all over my eyelids. This is to lock down the eyeshadow primer to help my eyeshadows blend better later. Next, I'm taking the color Tease on a really fluffy brush and putting it all over my crease. As you can see, I'm using kind of circular windshield wiper motions. I'll do windshield wiper back and forth through my crease, and then a little bit of circular motions to help blend it out even more. Next, I'm picking up the color Half Baked and applying that all over my lid with my fingertip. I really feel like picking up glitters with my fingers and applying them helps them show up more pigmented and intense. Next, I'm taking the color Snakebite on another fluffy brush and applying that to my outer V. Next, I'm taking the color Booty Call and applying that on my brow bone and the inner corner of my eye. And this is the finished eye look with the Naked 2 palette. So my game plan when approaching a mega palette like this is pretty much the same as what I did earlier, except now I just have more colors to choose from. So I would start out by picking my transition color. Now, since there are a bunch of eyeshadows that could be transition colors, I usually like to go in with 2. So in this eyeshadow palette, I would pick either of these 2 as my transition shade. Then I'll go in with my second transition shade. This is pretty much the same thing, just a little bit darker. And for this eyeshadow palette, I would go in with this one, or this one. Don't be afraid of orangey yellow eyeshadows like this. If you just tap your brush in it once and sweep it all over your eye, gives it a really warm look, and you can't even really tell that it's a yellow or orange eyeshadow. It just warmed up your eyeshadow so much. Next, I'll go in with my lid color. Now, I have a lot of glitters to pick from, obviously, so I like to go in with a lighter glitter on the inner half of my eyelid and a darker glitter on the outer half. So for my light glitters, I would pick this one, or maybe even this one. Then as my dark glitters, I would pick this one, this one, or this one. Then I'll go in with my outer V color. Now there's obviously a lot of outer V colors to choose from as well. Any of these browns right here will do, and then this row of matte dark colors would also work. Also, don't be afraid of red toned eyeshadows. If you blend them out properly, they just look like a nice, rich, warm brown instead of ketchup colored red. Lastly, I'll pick a highlight color. This eyeshadow palette really only has 2 highlight colors to choose from, and it's these 2 right here. The first thing I'm doing is taking this first transition color and applying it to my crease. I'm using the same windshield wiper motions and circular motions as I was before. As you can see, this transition color barely shows up like I said, but it really helps with blending later. Now I'm taking this second transition color and applying it in the exact same spot to deepen up the crease. Next, I'm picking up this champagne color with my fingertip and applying it to the inner half of my eyelid. Next, I'm taking this brown copper glitter and applying it to the outer half of my eyelid with my fingertip. Next, I'm taking this red shade and using it as my outer V color. Sometimes I feel like my lower lash line looks a little naked, so I'm taking that second transition color and applying it to my lower lash line with a fluffy brush. Just to make sure everything is blended out, I'm going back in with a fluffy brush with nothing on it and doing circular motions across my entire eye. And that is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.